Yeah, that's it. Spot on it. That's got it in one.
Got it in one.
In one.
Hole in one.
Yep. Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of undies?
Got a hole in one.
Yeah, Casey got a hole in one. Dad joke.
G'day guys, Aaron and Ninja here. I'm finally back.
Yep.
You don't have to worry anymore, guys. I haven't
alive.
gone anywhere. I've been on a bit of a mission, but this year I'm back on YouTube. And we're starting today by fixing Ninja's shoulder. So Ninja has been in his garden, brand new house, cutting down 4,000 trees and branches,
Yep.
and he's got a dodgy shoulder. But yeah, listen to the story about how it happened, and then we'll go to the anatomy to figure out why that was the case.
I'm going to grab this pole here, actually.
Let's demonstrate. Do you want me to be a branch? I'll be a branch. Ready?
I had this big, long, it's like 4 metre long thing, and I was fucking trying to saw it like this, but it was like, imagine it was right up there, and I was trying to go like that, like a big cue ball, you know, like, and it was just, I can feel it now when I'm doing that, so I was doing this.
You're playing pool with the trees.
But it was a long thing, so I kind of, because it was long, it had a bit of weight on the end, and I was trying to get a bit of downward force into it as well, as well as trying to get the blade to cut.
Yeah.
So, it's been sawing here right on this point. So
right on the point there. So
Yep.
you guys playing at home alone? At home? Along? What do you reckon that is there? What muscle is that? Before we go have a look at the anatomy, because this is the thing about being a body worker. The story is really important. So listening to the mechanism of the injury will tell you a lot about what muscles could be involved. And it's a really good way that you can basically get the client to buy in on what you're doing, because you can explain these things and then do what we do at MMT. Go over to the anatomy app and talk about what's going on. So Ninja's right shoulder. So if I go here and highlight this muscle, this is the deltoid. So it sounds like specifically it's the anterior deltoid here. So that line in here that probably got injured, because what the deltoid does, specifically the anterior deltoid, it does shoulder flexion. Okay, so Ninja was definitely holding his arm up in this position, doing something where the stick was like a long way away from his center of gravity, so probably jacked that muscle a little bit. But he also was probably, I think you were in a little bit of abduction there as well, because your arm was out like that a little bit. So he probably had a little bit of mid-deltoid as well. So this is where the story is really important. Now, if we take some muscles off there, we can also see that there's some other muscles underneath that could be involved here too. So this is the biceps brachii. This is the long head. So he said specifically it was right there. So I'd be thinking as a body worker, right, anterior deltoid, but I reckon bicep tendon could be a little bit to blame as well. And then it's a bit further away from the injury, or where he's feeling it, but I'm always thinking maybe supraspinatus tendon could be involved there too, although I don't think he was really pointing to that, but that would be like a secondary game plan for me. So I'd be like looking at anterior delt and bicep tendon first, but if that didn't really get the result, maybe later in that session or the next session, we'd have to go and check the supraspinatus, which can get injured in the shoulder very commonly when the deltoid, this guy, isn't doing its job properly. The supraspinatus can get injured. But let's start with the deltoid though, the most common thing that we're thinking it is, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, Ninj, can you lie down on your back for me? And we'll start with our deltoid work. So normally with our deltoid work, we'd normally start in this gutter here, and we'd pin straight back down like that. But for Ninja, I feel like it was more on the outside here. So I don't want to waste any time, and I'm going to come to our second stroke and basically just pick up the slack in this anterior deltoid here, and I'm going to be basically just pinning straight down into the table, but I'm also going to be doing like a bit of a line down the bicep as well. So this is just saying g'day to Ninj. As we do as at MMT, we always want to just tune into what the feedback we're getting when we make that first connection. I can't stress enough, like if Ninja had never been to MMT before and he'd had this shoulder pain and I'd done this straight away, he'd be going, oh shit, there's no mucking around here. You know what I mean? There's no fluff, there's no skin polishing as we put it. So if you're a massage therapist out there and you're not getting results and you feel like you're just doing the same cookie cutter approach with every client, you got to start thinking a little bit more pragmatically and logically about what you need to do instead. You know, because I'll say straight away, the stuff you learn at school, it's not going to cut it when you want to fix things. If you want to give maybe a nice massage, go ahead for it. Just do what you did at school. But if you want to fix things and you want to be remarkable, outstanding, you got to bark up a different tree. So Ninj, I'll check in with my client here. How's that feeling just straight up, man?
Yeah, good. I'm really starting to tune in to my own body and what's coming up. I can kind of sense that you're in that right area, but you're not really quite on it yet. Mm-hmm. But I know that you're going to go to it because you can kind of, when you are a receiver of this, it's a language. You know when it's connected, the stroke is connected, but you know full on when it's the right spot for you that's going to create the change. So you're getting onto it right now.
Yeah, so I just started to move a little bit, and that's the important thing about starting your stroke at the top, because it means you're not going to miss it. You know, so if you start at the edge, you start at the corner, and you start moving into it, you're going to catch it. Because so many people, they start maybe 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres away from the tendon, and they haven't actually caught up all that stuff that the plough can catch.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I feel like that's definitely on something. I can feel some sharpness pushing back into me there, man. So is that definitely
really
feeling like on the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really therapeutic.
So yeah, at MMT, generally what we do is we start with our table work, but then, you know, from here, towards the end of the session, if it's a very specific spot like Ninja has demonstrated here today, we would do some dynamic stuff as well. So we will move into that a little bit later. So being a real session, what I would do now is I'd be asking Ninja, okay, what are you sensing in terms of you want me to move in a certain direction, or do you want to intuitively start moving your arm? So we kind of have that do with feedback. You know, it's not just a do to, it's very much an active process with the client as well. So what are you sensing here, man? Do you want me to stay on this path or go somewhere different?
No, stay on it. It's probably slight angle change. If you maybe, I thought it might have come up this way a bit, but yeah, that
just
really
angled back into the body.
Yeah, that's just really creaming it. That's, getting it flush,
Creaming it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cricket
terminology. Tis the season.
Yeah, cricket over here. Just when you hit it flush, isn't it?
Flush, right off the middle of the bat.
Yeah.
Right out of the screws.
Yeah. Golfing, you'd have it too, but I think even when you're kicking a ball and that, if you kick it flush, time it well.
Cream's pretty Aussie word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Creamed it.
Yeah.
It is a stinking hot day here in Melbourne today, isn't it, Ninj?
Yeah. Very hot. Lucky your aircon.
Now I'm starting to move now.
Even more so. I thought you was done, but there's more.
There's more?
Yeah.
It's like one of those Danos Direct ads.
I know, but wait. There's more. What do they used to give away? The
Ab King Pro?
They used to give away a set of pans or something.
Yeah, and you get like a whole new set for free.
It starts off as one pan, and then by the end of it, it's like 20.
Whole cutlery set. So yeah, I'm starting to move now, but just shows, again, just reiterating the same message that we talk about every single video, just how important the pace is. Pace is king.
Yeah. It's like a good ache. It's therapeutic. I kind of talked about in other videos, like when you're a splinter, you're trying to get a splinter out, bloody, it hurts, it's really painful, but once that splinter's out, it's like total relief straight away, instantly, isn't it?
Literally, it's gone.
Gone. So that body work can do the same thing. You just got to go through the process, honour what you're feeling underneath your hand, your thumb or whatever, and you can be done.
Beautiful. So there's a few ways at which we can take the thumb work. So sometimes I like to work from here, but just for the camera for you today, Leo, I might start like this. And we always say, you got to find ways to innovate.
Yeah. That's it. Spot on it. That's got it in one.
Got it in one.
In one.
Hole in one.
Yeah. Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of undies?
Got a hole in one.
Yeah, Casey got a hole in one. Dad joke.
Dad jokes are the best jokes.
Yeah.
So we're definitely hitting anterior deltoid here, but I reckon we're into that bicep tendon as well.
Yeah.
So just giving it a bit of a wiggle there. Just getting Ninja acclimatized with what I'm doing. It's a little bit of flickering there of maybe a little trigger point that's in this spot. But sometimes it's good. I'm staying connected there. You can see me wobbling a little bit, but I'm not actually taking any pressure off. I'm just kind of wobbling to find if I can get in a bit of a different groove. Might just go a little double thumb here. You all right there, man?
Yeah.
Still on it?
Yeah.
Can I go in any different? Oh, a little big twitch there. That was cool.
Yeah, keep on in that angle, I reckon. It's just, yeah, it's hitting it differently to the other side. But yeah, it's perfect, I reckon. Just go along that line.
Sometimes with this chronic shoulder stuff too, we have got a saying like 3 deep sessions can really clear if it's probably been more than 6 months, if it's really embedded. But Ninja's only had it for probably a month, haven't you, Ninja? So it's probably can be done in one session, one good hour session. Obviously, these YouTube videos are just a bit of a snapshot demonstration. We don't do full sessions. We just give you an idea of what you can do in a full session. But even these 10, 15-minute videos, like they still make an impact.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to so many massage therapists that apply to come to do our course, and one of the things I say a lot is, do you make every stroke count? You know, if you had a snapshot of all the techniques that you've used in that hour session, how much of it is fluff and how much of it is actually stuff that's going to do something in the long run? Because I reckon most practitioners are under 20% of things that they're doing in the session are actually purposeful and intentional.
Yep.
So that's one of the things that you can use as a framework to figure out, are you being effective and why your results aren't happening? And this is the stuff that doesn't get taught at school. School is just about punching your ticket into the industry, but then it's a matter of you going on a quest to figure out who you need to learn from to get that point of difference with your results. All right, we're moving now, Ninj.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh. Now, would you say that's past it now?
Yeah. It's still kind of got a little bit in it, but not... Oh, there's a little bit there. Ah. Yeah, that feels really relevant. Jeez. Yeah, because I haven't been feeling it down here, but it really does feel like it's involved.
Something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool there, man. Alrighty, let's have a bit of a gaze at what that looks like. Just give it a bit of a test too, man. Just tell me what that feels like.
Yeah, it's good. It's just nothing there.
Hard to find it now,
Yeah.
comparatively. What we might do now is just show the dynamic, just because I'm happy with those 2 techniques. People can start using that from home. But what I was mentioning before about the dynamic side of things is when you look at the mechanism of what he was doing, because he was doing a lot of this stuff, so sometimes those tissues can kind of get stuck in that position. So what we do sometimes is we pin it and then get the body moving into the opposite direction to try and unwind that bind. So we'll get Ninja up now. Maybe have a seat on the bed, I reckon, man. You're going to be able to do that there?
Do that?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just find that spot on him again. Just make sure. What's that one like there, man?
Yeah, he's starting to really...
So what I do is I'll get Ninja to, this is how you set up a dynamic treatment. You got to get them, do you want me to make that a bit lower, that table for you?
No,
okay?
I'm all right.
So you get them to push back into you, not with the limb, you kind of just get them to lean their body weight into you, just so you can kind of not make sure you're pushing them over. And then what I'm going to get Ninja to do is basically just start to get his arm going back into a bit of extension as I'm pinning it here. Cool, man. So remember, with you here, you're not moving. You're just getting them to move around your stagnant pressure. Oh, it's not stagnant pressure, but static pressure. So they're just going through a bit of a journey on taking their body where they feel like they need to. You feel like that's on the spot, Ninja?
Yeah. Maybe you can just direct out just that little bit. Yeah, angle. Yeah, that's it. On that thing.
Oh, that's good there, man.
Feel it.
So if you look at the position I'm getting into, like there's no rules.
Oh,
There's no rules in terms of like, I'm not allowed to stand on the table, I'm not allowed to kneel on the table. You just do whatever you need to do to get the job done. It's pretty jacked up in here, Ninj. But you're gonna be good.
yeah.
You okay?
Yep. It's good. It's getting better. Pretty intense though.
I feel like even if I come out to the side more there, like there's something in there. You feel that?
Yeah.
I can feel that pushing back at me heaps. So you're even going kind of internal there a bit.
Bit of
aren't you?
rotation, yeah. To help you hit it. I'm gonna do this. Just there.
Yeah, so it just shows that you're on a journey, guys. You're just tailoring. Every session is tailored, it's bespoke to your client. And this is where your clients will know that you care because you're invested in them and you're doing everything you can to make sure that you can get a result. So this might be one session, like I said before. You do this has been your game plan, your hypothesis. And then when they come back the next week, or they shoot you a text the next day, you get a gauge on what's changed, okay? If we're 80% better, then we know that we're in the right spot. If it's 30% better, we've either got to go, okay, do we need more work here, or do we need to also look somewhere else, like I demonstrated with the supraspinatus there, okay? But the thing is, the answer is always there. So you're going to find it. You just got to be willing to investigate. You've got to be willing to be that detective, and you've got to be willing to work with your people, because the answer is always there with bodywork. All right, Ninj. Give you a bit of a breather there, man.
Good.
But that's what we do, guys. That's like a real session. So you listen to the story, you get them involved with the anatomy, you tell them your game plan, so they're like, yep, I understand that. You do the table work, you retest, you do the dynamic work, you retest, and then that's your session. You figure out how much better it is, then you either rebook them or they get in contact with you afterwards saying that I'm good or they would like another one, okay? So that's the game plan, that's the framework, but it starts with just leveling up your skill set, leveling up your game, leveling up even, changing what you think is possible with bodywork. Like you don't just have to give a symptom managing treatment. You can be the person that can actually fix someone's stuff, guys. But it starts with, changing that skill set. And if you're just doing what you learnt at school, it's okay. But if you want to be great, you've got to start looking up some different stuff, guys. So if you resonate with what we do, Ninja and I teach a course all year round for people all over the world that want to be better at manual therapy. So links below, check it out, apply, have a chat with us, see if you qualify, and then we can make 2026 the year you're a gun bodyworker. Thanks, guys.
Done.